excuse myself while I blew
No,
my
he
nose.
said he counted you down and then you blew your nose.
I got major allergies, and when I'm on my motorcycle, all that shit just be hitting me like
Mm.
facts. Yo, we in the building. Nat Turner in the building. Don't Ask Podcast. We have a guest today. Yes, we do.
Ooh.
Miss Alexis, Texas, have decided to grace us with her
Big old booty.
big old booty. She said it, not me. You know what I'm saying?
I am here. I am
She
happy. I
she
am
she
excited.
she decided to you know what I mean? Show it with her big old booty and all that.
The
It
big
was
old
nice to
booty
have you here, though.
had to come and show you love. You
That's
came and
what's
did
up.
my podcast, so I felt like it was only right for me to bless my big booty on your couch and see what you're like behind the other side of the.
Yeah, I wish
I
I
put
was the
you in the hot
couch.
seat. You know what I mean?
I wish I was the couch right now. I know that. But
Many men would
yeah, yeah.
start selling couches just that I sat on. Maybe it's a new business I should get into.
Oh, this the couch
You
Alexis
want to go into the
Texas
furniture
sat on.
business with me? No?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Couches,
do it.
beds, fuck it.
Yeah, we do it. You know, we done it everywhere. On
Yes.
beds, on tables, on fucking whatever.
Do you have a table fetish? This is like the second time you brought this table
I
thing.
did. Hey, listen, where's the weirdest place you did a scene at?
Weirdest place I did a scene. Ooh. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to block out the weird people, go to the weird scenes.
All
I'm
other
trying to
weird
like
shit.
navigate through. Um, weirdest place. I don't really know if it's been a weird places, but I definitely was weird things. Like I did like this medieval thing. We were dressed in like play like outside stuff, but that's not crazy. I don't really feel like they ever made me do anything too
What was
crazy.
the most exciting thing you did that you was like, oh, this is hot? Well, and let's just.
Honestly, what's crazy is I don't. Me and oil broke up a long time ago, but I used to really like oil scenes for
Oil
whatever
shit.
reason. And maybe
Okay.
because you were just like gave you more lubrication to like
Yeah.
slide and glide around or do whatever. But I always liked like I think it was Chris. I don't remember right now. Whatever.
Hey,
But
just
he did oil
Chris.
overload movies, and was it Chris Streams? I think it was Chris
Yeah,
Streams. There's a
Chris
lot of
James. That's
Chris's.
the only Chris I know
Yeah,
personally.
but he did the oil
that,
overloads, and I really
Christian
liked
J.
those movies, like those series. And then
Okay.
Buttwoman for me was always great. We did like really cool
It made
outside
you
like
feel
stuff.
sexy in
Yeah,
those
like
situations.
we went to go Santa Monica with roller skate down the boardwalk
No,
with the
that's
big
what's up
booty
with your little
cheeks.
booty
Just,
shorts on and
no, it was not even booty shorts. It was like the whole
just
like
ass out.
remember the
Just
old school like well, when I started I feel like it's old school, so you have to it's like the just this G like the string. Like it was literally
like a slingshot or some
slingshot,
shit.
there you go. It was literally covered like the patch of your pussy
And that's it.
and your asshole, really, because then it was just strings. And then for me,
Slingshot.
crazy.
That's exactly
So like
what it
we would
is.
have like something covering me, and then when I would actually they would film
They
the
take it
roller
off
skating, they would
just so
take
you
it off,
could
whatever.
real
But
quick.
people were some people were happy, some people weren't.
Well, the public probably was like, "Yo, what the fuck is happening?" If someone had their
But
kids out there, or some shit.
technically, I mean, I'm not naked, and it was just like
Technically, I
Miami,
guess
and
you're
nothing
right.
was showing that was
I
not
guess you're right. They
nothing
should be
bad.
used to that in Miami.
So just like the whole free the nipple thing, which I did in New York City, walked with Times Square with Nikki Benz. Why shouldn't I be? My tits were in, mind you, but I'm just saying, why shouldn't you be free to just express yourself? We weren't doing anything sexually. We were just
No, you right. And how is
filming
she? She
technically.
cool?
She's
doing
good.
all right.
Yeah,
No,
really
that's what's
good.
up. I
Yeah.
fucks with her. She cool. She good peoples. What did you dislike about going to work? Because people don't understand this shit is a job. I mean, it could be
Yes.
fun, but at the end of the day, it's a job, and sometimes
Facts.
you really see it as a job. So explain one of those job days, like, oh shit, this is a fucking job. And I know probably the first thing is I don't fuck with this motherfucker I'm working with, but I'm doing it and it's whatever.
See, I kind of had those moments early on, but then I was really like advocate about my
You
voice
got
of like
control over
I
what
knew
you
who I
wanted to
wanted
do.
to work with and what that looked like chemistry like wise because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
matters too, And if I'm not gonna fuck somebody, it's clearly gonna tell. I'm a passionate
yeah,
person and
yeah.
I'm very like give it all. So that kind of whenever.
So
went
name one
away.
of the earlier times where you had to because
Ugh,
you
I
wasn't
just
quite
had
yet
flashbacks.
Alexis, Texas. So you
It
got to
was
go far back. I
Yeah, I think
understand that.
we lightly touched on it before, but it was one of those things when it was like it it was only a blowjob scene, like back then. Like I don't even think those even exist anymore. Like I think you just got to do it all. Like you can't do it. But it was whose house? It was Craven Moorhead's house. And at that, okay, it's flashbacks coming back and the names are coming. So
I remember Craven.
I don't remember who I did the scene, but at Craven's house, it was always questionable, guys, because you didn't know these people who he was hiring to say no.
Just anybody
to say that they were on your no list. So you know
yeah.
what I mean? And then somehow I'm just like, it's not the one for me. But so back to this horrible blowjob scene. At the time, I had never been with anyone who was older. Like I started when I was 21. So the guy was like, he comes and he looks like this old, like motorcycle looking man. He has like
30s or 40s.
Probably 40s. The
Probably
beard made him look
40s.
40. He may have been 30. I don't know. When
yeah,
I say the name, you're gonna know who I am talking about. So I'm like, who's working with this? And I had to do a blowjob scene with him, and I was like, oh, this one I knew I was really like. I was dedicated to my craft.
Yeah.
Because, you don't really know. It's not like it's not like I'm dating all these people and not everyone has to look like a certain way or whatever the case. Whatever, team player. But it was Brian Sherwood. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what is that? I don't know. But I forgot that for like a long time because I think I mentally blocked that out of my head. But yeah, that happened. And then he later went to like prison for like some like
crazy
hit and run
shit.
something like
you.
crazy. And I was like, crazy.
Like
but,
like I knew it. God damn, he's a creep.
I knew nothing about it from the blowjobs. Okay, but I'm just saying that time was the first time that I was like, wow, like this is what we're doing. And you really had to assess what you really wanted to do in life. But again, not every day is like that. Like you said, not every day is a bad day. And it wasn't necessarily a bad day. It was just not something I would have done in my personal life, which as an athlete, which we are sexual athletes, I feel like was why we just like, hey, I'm fucking today. Like, I'm here to fuck. I'm not here to, like,
cut the
get
check.
your number. I'm not here to take you on a date or even see you afterwards, hopefully. When I tell my agent, I'm putting out whoever this guy is now, please find out who he is so I can put him on my no list.
No, I feel you.
I've definitely done that.
I experienced that early on, that it was a business. My experience was this, that I did a scene with somebody and it was great. Like, we went in, it was, So afterwards, I was like, what up, Mom? You know what I mean? Let me get your number, take you out or something. She was like, well, my husband's outside to pick me up. It was nice working with you. Hopefully we could work again some other time. And I was crushed, like, wow. This shit is a business. This shit is, after that one time, I never went there ever again. Not to say that I haven't had relationships with people in the business, but it didn't happen like that.
You made sure that it wasn't like
it was
that was
mutual. It was cool, and then we, you know what I mean. But just going to work, and just because you work with her, don't mean you can have action with her after that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think that's what people kind of forget about, like, the humanized part of what we do. You know what I mean? And even with, like, that being said, like, it was something you did early on. You just wanted to fuck, and everyone was just, like, excited in the beginning in the industry. But it's like there's levels to code of conduct of what you do with your like, you know, with your fellow coworkers.
And that's segueing into what I wanted to talk to you about as well, about the interracial thing. You know, I was gonna bring that up, but I always said that I feel like I fucks with you. You fucks with me. We know each other for years, so I don't see none of that. But so I just trying to explain to everybody how that works business wise, as far as when you become to do interracial scenes and anal and gangbangs, and that's not what you just start off doing. I think it's a progression and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
agreed.
Business wise, I think that's a good decision to hold off to that shit until you need it, because the average female don't last till about 4 years. What do you think the average female will last?
You know,
a good bad bitch.
It's really hard to say, because back then,
as far as shooting, not after you good. After that, I get it. Alexis went on to do other shit after that, but
4 or 5
actual
years.
shooting, at on set, waiting on your turn to shoot and all that.
Because for me, even like saying all that, like it took like 3 years of me doing like the work before I even got recognition from other people besides my peers. You know what I mean? And so it definitely is a business. It's one of those things, I can't speak for everybody and what the platform is, whatever, but for me personally, you know what I mean? Like the way that I got in the industry was very different at the time. It came into a whole thing where it was like reality porn. Like I came straight out of college. I came from being into, Texas and all this stuff. So people already put a stigma on my name and all these things. But for me, work-wise, my agent was very strategic. He was very like, girls do, like I said, even with the blowjob scenes, you do hand job and blowjob scenes
That's
and
what I was
whatever.
going to say when you
Then
said, then you progress
when you
on.
elevate after that, and not that you never did boy-girl, but they ask you what are your do's and your don'ts and all these things. So it's kind of like, it's a platter of sexual like appetite things that you put on your list when you kind of like sign up, and then they tell you, kind of walk you down as far as like what numbers are. And before I knew what was anything really going on, it became bigger, the whole interracial thing for me, than I felt like, because then there was forums, there was all these internet things, there was like, oh, she's racist, oh, she's this, and I'm like, why do I have to be anything?
No,
because I'm not actually
that
having sex with a black man on camera.
That wasn't.
Why does that make me racist?
Yeah.
So then it was already in my ear, but it wasn't something that I didn't not do in my personal life, or that I hadn't not done. But people in the world don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But what it looked like and appeared was like, oh, she's just a white girl from Texas, and her parents say no. Like I'm Puerto Rican, like that. The background of what all that means. Like I was, a lot of other things that I felt like at that time too is like I didn't have to explain myself. If you wanted to ask me, I had people, conventions come up to me and ask me, and it's my opinion, and that's just what it was. But it was never because I never wanted to do it. And then
so
at the
it was
time,
a business decision.
when it came to, the further my career went, it was so stigmatized that I was like, why should I? Because everyone was like, oh, this is the last thing you're gonna do. You're gonna sell out. You're gonna whatever. I'm like,
at that
why
point,
does that have to make it
shied
sell
you
out?
from
Like
doing
that's
it now.
horrible to say that or to think that.
That's interesting. You said I didn't know that.
You know what I mean? So it's the stigma
we didn't have
of
that conversation.
both. But I didn't like either one, because it's like either way you're wrong. And then for me, it's like I again don't have to explain myself to anyone, because my peers and people who I love and in my life know that I'm not racist. They know that I
like
love
I said, I fucked
people
with you.
of all colors. But again, for
day.
me is because I'm such the in my ways, and because I didn't want people to dictate what I did, was like, why should I have to give you something else because you want it one way or another, and then you're mad or you're not? And
was there ever a scene of you interracial? You never ever did it, right?
I worked with Marie Love and I worked with Cherokee. But then when I did even that in the beginning into progression of anything, people were like, oh, that's not really interracial.
So that was a lie.
So why does that mean?
No, because somebody did it. I don't know why I heard it, or somebody
but
like,
see,
you did one but didn't. I don't know.
No.
Just...
And then,
no, that's cool.
Furthermore, like in the at that point in my career, when it came to that point, I was already out of I was in a relationship, and my relationship didn't want me to work with anybody.
Yo.
And then I got out of the business, and so unfortunately, that's just
that
how
I could
my
vouch
career
for too, as well.
My career, like that path went. So again, people are like, "Oh, you're a racist, whatever." But like, why does it have to be that?
He thought he was black. That was the funny thing.
So it was just one of those things. So no, I don't think, and I know that I'm not, and I feel in my heart and my soul that I know that I am not racist.
No,
and so I'm glad that more conversations like this need to happen, because people just put a stigma
and
on it.
And I'm gonna vouch for you. I never felt that way. I've known you at least 10 good years. Like you always fucked with me. Every time I saw you, it was always love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I never felt that way about you. I never really knew the intricacies of it. You know what I mean? I just never really had that conversation with you until maybe recently.
And that's why, like on my podcast,
I just never felt that way because I didn't care to have that conversation with you because I didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
I understood what motherfuckers were saying, and I knew you knew that, so there was no sense of us even going there. So
For sure.
Love.
But again, like I said, I feel like because we do have a friendship and like that, I feel like the conversation needs to happen because more people need to hear this side or whatever. Like I said, and some people can't see me or meet me or whatever it is, and I feel it. I get it. People have said all kinds of things, but I know what it is and what it's not. So
no, that's what's up.
But that's what I said on my podcast with you. I was like, I'm curious because every time I do something with my friends, people are like, oh, in the comments talking shit, and I'm just like, why didn't you ask her about the interracial? I'm like, anybody can ask me anything, and it's an open format. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think it's like. You were like, again, it didn't bother you because you didn't feel that way, or it didn't whatever. But but I
I'm
also
only
feel like
asking
it needs to be addressed.
I know it needs to be addressed.
That's what I'm
Not
saying. Is
why
why
I feel that way.
I feel the conversation needs to be had because people do want to know, or people do judge me.
I get it. Like I don't. So being that you were new and fresh in the game, it was. Who was your agent in the beginning?
Derek Hay.
Oh my God! So I know he pushed.
LA Direct Models. You like how I changed my?
Yeah, this motherfucking. I was with Derek too for a minute.
Yeah.
I was with him for a minute. I just,
I can't speak anything bad about Derek. I'll say he's a straight business person
No,
for
it
me.
is. It's
My
business.
career, again, like I said, I can
That
only
was a
speak of whatever
business. That's
everybody's
why I can
thing is
confirm
different.
that it was a business decision for you not to do that.
It's just
especially
like,
in the beginning when he had you. He understood that.
Yeah.
So I understand that's a business. I didn't
But
get it until
yeah.
I've been in the
And
business
honestly,
all this
at
time.
that age, like, I never watched porn before I got into porn, so I don't know porn politics. I don't know anything.
Yeah,
I'm just young, dumb, and full of cum, and I want to fuck, and that's what I came to do and fuck.
Facts.
And then they told you, and then I'm fucking in an agency, and people are telling you what you do, what you don't, the levels, and I didn't feel anything that was wrong with that, and I still don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
People have to understand that, yeah, that's how you got started, and that's what it was. You didn't know what the fuck was going on at that time. You just knew.
I just knew what I was doing, and I was already whatever. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm going to do this because no one's ever seen me do anything. So why do I need to rush to do anything that I'm comfortable doing this now? Now let's do this. Like, they're just needed. I feel like people just have to put labels on things for unnecessary reasons. Like, once you get to meet me, you can clearly feel like I'm not that way. And everybody that has ever asked me those questions or those answer questions.
I got 10 racks right now. Interracial scene, me and you.
Don't make me smack you. 10 racks. We can make
10 racks.
We can make a whole
I'm
NFT.
Not rich.
We can make a whole NFT movie, and nobody can do anything in metaverse. Nobody can do nothing.
Yo, you
okay?
hear this shit?
You know how much of a businesswoman that I am?
Businesswoman
I'm a businesswoman first, okay, and she's taken me a long way. And she's, you know what I mean? So respect. Okay?
She's like, nah, we could do more. We could do more. What you talking about?
I'm always for the more. You know what I mean? It's a business, and again, I don't regret being in the business. I love being in the business. It's it's made me and allowed me to have a platform and a fan base to do the things that I'm doing currently.
I try to explain that
and not
myself,
doing that stuff. So it's really cool because of my sexual behavior, even though good or bad, which we just talked about the negative side. The good part was that it's allowed me to do so much more. You know, my podcast, I never even knew that I wanted to do a podcast, but it fell into my lap and I loved it. You know,
and that's some fly shit. Shout it out real quick.
It's
Let them know
Private
what it
Talk
is.
with Alexis, Texas. So make sure you go and follow it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube channel as well. Go subscribe. But yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of fun. It's, lifestyle entertainment. It's one of those things that, again, I love talking, and I feel like because of the platforms and all those things I was saying that was negative, I was like, this is the first time that my podcast gives me uncensored my truth. You can hear what I want to say. That's why I have different guests from different walks of, paths that they've had, like from rappers to adult stars to comedians, all kinds of things. And everyone in the beginning, at the first getting them in my seats, was like, oh, what is she going to ask me? It's, it's porn. I'm like, it's not. There's so much more than just the porn aspect. Yeah. And at the end, everyone's like, man, that's super dope. I love the concept of what you're doing here. Like, and they've all walked away really great. So we're in season 3 now. I'm super excited for the longevity of it and just like the future of what it's going to happen. But I definitely have had a lot of fun with that, which, again, if it wasn't Alexis, Texas doing all these naughty things with this big booty, then I wouldn't have had the platform, as big as I do as, today.
You keep mentioning this big booty. I don't know. I'm going to have to get
it's
you to
45 inches around.
Like,
I mean, I think
what
it,
right
don't
now,
act like you've never seen it before.
I've seen it, but I don't know who haven't. But who haven't?
Well, who haven't?
Google it, nigga. Google that shit.
That was your favorite thing the other day. Google it. Just
Google that shit. You just Google it.
That's lazy.
Yo, no. What I be always saying is, don't Google me. Like, whatever you do, don't Google me.
No, but I was talking about pictures. I was like, people don't ask you for pictures. Like, I just tell them to Google it. That's not like that's not intimate. That's like very like work. That's like a girl sending one picture to like 30 people, which I have sent it to like a couple.
Facts. But you want your own personal booty shot every now and
then. They do. There's some people that really agree. They're like, nah, I know this is for work, and I'm like, fine. So there's like 3 to 5 that get the same rotation. They just don't really know about it.
I could only imagine what you go through being you. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Because my little punk ass level is crazy. So I can only imagine you can't even walk through the airport.
I really didn't know the power of like my DMs until like recently. Because I was married, and a lot of my, when I was in the business, I was working a lot. And then until the pandemic, until things slowed down, did I really was like, had time. Everyone had time, you know what I mean? So I'm like, wow, people talking these things, or like it's not just whatever. So Not that I'm saying that I do answer my DMs, but I'm just saying, as
Yeah,
far
don't
as
go be
the
DM. You
clout,
can have 1,000 DMs tomorrow. Like, oh shit, she talks in a DM.
baby, go to my OnlyFans and I'll talk to you there. But
Oh yeah, you charge for the motherfucking text, and you want to hear what
you
I
put some
said back to
tax.
you. You better you got to pay this
You
couple
put some
dollars.
tax on that ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been growing it for a long 36 years, so I need some. I
You
need
gotta
something
shout me
back.
out on your OnlyFans. Huh? Help me get my followers like
How do
yours.
you?
You know what I'm
What?
saying?
I mean, I
Trying to
don't
be
know.
like you, man.
How you trying to be like me?
Yeah, I'm kind
How do
of
you
still
shout people out on
saying. Nah,
OnlyFans?
I
You just
mean,
shout on
I
your
don't
social
know.
media?
Be like, yo,
I'm like,
go
how does
follow
that?
Nat Turner shit.
I mean, I will, but I don't know how to do it on
I don't
OnlyFans.
either.
I'm like,
I don't know either. Do it on your
we need
Instagram somewhere. I don't know. Some shit.
You need to have your pitch way clearer than this. You're like mumbling over here, not
Yeah,
even knowing what
cause
you
I'm
want me
like,
to
cause I
shout
don't know.
out.
I don't know what I'm getting shy right now. Like I don't know what I'm asking, but yeah, that's just shout me out.
Is this
You know what I mean?
management thing I need to do for you again? I'm gonna be your manager at the end of this week.
That's what's up. Manage me. I need some management.
Come over to Twerk Tower Enterprises.
I need some new management.
Twerk Tower Enterprises.
Okay, well, damn, twerking. I don't know about all that. But...
You just bring, the girls that twerk.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll bring the girls that twerk. I know a few girls that twerk.
It's the thing to do these days. Allegedly.
How long did how long you was in the joint? Like 5 years? Actually doing scenes. Like
5 years? Please put some respect to my name.
no, I mean 5, 6 years. I'm actually you don't go do scenes no more. Like you got a call time in the morning.
No, I only do stuff for my OnlyFans. But no,
Yeah.
I did scenes for 10 years.
Oh.
Like a minute.
That's gangster.
Yeah, that's why I said 5 years. Really, you wanted to stay over here? You put me on this
Nah,
little
I
shelf
had
life
to-
over
I
here.
had to challenge you. I had to challenge you. I
Yeah,
got 20
okay.
in, man. So
I respect
I don't
that.
know, man.
Respect.
Like, I got 20.
I just,
like,
was inducted
you
to
know
the
what I'm
Hall of
saying?
Fame of
Me
2022
too.
at AVN.
Me too.
Not this year.
Me too.
Right? No, you
A
told
couple
me
years ago.
Yeah, exactly. We've had this conversation.
Yeah,
I'm 2022.
I've been in that motherfucker.
Give me my flowers.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, cheers.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
but yes, quite some time. I know.
Welcome
I
to
felt
the
like I didn't
alumni.
feel like it was really that long. To be quite honest.
Yeah,
Again, until I slowed down, like if I look at it now, in projection of what I've done, from like hosting and awards and all these things, it doesn't. I mean, it seems long, but it doesn't feel long. Like it feels like it was like 5 years. Like
Where did they have the AVN this year?
It was virtual.
It was virtual. Period. It was nobody. Oh.
Yeah, no, because
that's why I was
of
bugging. Like I was in New York and I
Yeah.
wanted to be there for it, but I thought people really went somewhere.
No.
Oh, so it was okay. Whatever. I was
was
good.
virtual.
I was good where I was. So it should be back to normal next year, maybe.
Possibly,
whatever.
honestly, for me, I feel like my time has come and gone with the whole AVN thing. I don't shoot anything, so there's no real reason for me to go to awards. I support it from afar, but there's no, especially that was kind of like the last accolade that I really feel like I needed. Not that I even needed it, but it was great to have. Yeah, there's no real reason for me to do all that. It's expensive for women like me. You gotta dress nice. You gotta do all these fun things.
You just gotta get a dude like me to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I'm tricking or nothing, but if I like you, I like you. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Maybe one day that'll happen in my path, but I haven't found him just yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm
you
still
looking
searching.
for him? Are you searching?
I feel like in
just
time I'm
wanna-
working on this thing called patience and just knowing that I'm doing what I'm supposed to.
Because you've been in a few situations. And,
I have.
You know what that's about. So
I've been single for at least, I'd say, a good year, almost 2 years. But I feel like the last 6 months have I really done work to know. I felt like I thought I wanted a relationship, but now I've done the work to know that I can be in a relationship with somebody else, because I feel like there was just, again, with the pandemic, kind of things that you didn't realize that you didn't work on, or you kind of forgot about, and then resurrected. So it was just kind of a self-reflection thing, and still working on it every day. But I feel like I'm in a better place to be a partner than I was 6 months ago, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
When is your birthday? What is your sign?
May 25th. I am a Gemini.
May 25th.
Yes.
I came home from jail May 17th, 2000.
So you were probably celebrating my birthday.
Yeah, around there, yeah, right?
We have a question from the chat room.
Oh, we're live
Marquise.
doing this?
Yeah, we're actually live.
Oh, fun.
Marquise wants to know if you ever done a scene with Pinky or Lisa Ann.
Lisa Ann, I did do a scene with in some hustler movie that was like nailing Sarah Palin. What is that? That was that the politician person?
Yeah, I hear you.
I was Miss California. Cliche. And Pinky, no, but I loved Pinky. Pinky and Cherokee were the first like two girls that I met at like Exoticas and stuff that were like super mad cool. They were like, "Girl, you have a bit," because I didn't dance at strip clubs, and they're like, "Girl, we just take our ass cheeks and we just like dance." And I'm like, "Oh, it's that easy." So they like opened me with welcoming arms, and they're always just showed mad love. So never worked with her, but Cherokee I did. But yeah.
In fact, I used to have lunch with Lisa Ann for the longest before I knew she was a porn star.
Why?
I used to work at a gym in 24 Hour Fitness in Sherman Oaks.
So you were cupcaking?
And no, she used to always come in the gym and we would just talk at the front desk or whatever. And I was eating lunch one time and she stopped in. We had lunch, whatever. And so we would go to lunch when she would finish working out. And then somebody, walked by, was looking at me kind of weird. When I walked in, it was like, "Hey, bro, you might want to take your shirt off next time you work shirt." And I was like, "Well, what's up?" They was like, "You don't know who that is?" And I was like, "Nah."
Like, why you can't be seen with her? That's horrible.
I don't know what it
I
was.
hate people like that, but okay, yeah, I
don't
feel
know.
you.
But she's really, really, really nice lady, really cool.
She is honestly. I haven't talked to
Really
her in a
down
really
to
long time. But she's definitely one of the key players in the business. You know what I mean? She's
Facts.
definitely
She-
female, and especially
yeah.
for females with like business mindset. And she also like we had a thing we used to call her Manipulisa because she would always manipulate the situation where we were to like in our like her favor. She was like, yeah, she's like, you talk to these people. She just knew the room and what to do. But she was also very giving about the knowledge, and some people could be very stifling about it. But yeah, no, she was
She
early
definitely
on.
cut
She
a
really
couple
was
checks
super
for
cool for me too.
She definitely put a couple checks in my pocket.
She didn't do any of that, but I definitely hung out with her like
I
personal.
mean, hired me to
Yeah.
whatever she had going on.
Yeah.
So that's what I say about putting checks in my pocket. Whatever she had going on, she
Yeah.
would call me even if I was working with her or not. Like it was her production thing, whatever she had going on. And
For sure, and then
I
she just
appreciate her for
recently
that.
just wrote a second book or something like that too.
Okay.
Like yeah, so it's cool because I think for women like myself, like you always think like what's next or what's after. Can we do these things or whatever?
Yeah,
What are we doing? You know what I
yeah,
mean? So to see women like that is inspiring to know that you can, regardless of each path is different, to do those things and have the mainstream outlets accept you as well because that's kind of something that it's like we always get kind of
longevity
like
is possible. It's type rare,
it's always-
kinda, but it's possible.
yeah, but the thing is, like with me, is like I always wanted to be the barrier of like breaking those things. Like I don't like the word no. Like I want to like there's every problem has a solution, and there's around something, and so people be like, oh well, that's a great idea, but did it adult, and I'm like, okay, but what does that matter? I think we're in a wave of shift of like new everything from crypto to new money and not just old money too, and not having as many stigmas of endorsing people like us to do things in other avenues, just not adult. So I feel like there's a lot of good potential for us to continue to break those barriers and be in mainstream.
Yeah, I'm blessed to, especially as a male. I mean, how many of them really, you know what I mean? So
Stick out for
yeah,
sure.
like afterwards, especially. So I it's a bunch of motherfuckers that was here that's just not around no more when I showed up. I don't think none of them really.
Yeah, but
Maybe
I think
name
like I
one
said
or two, one maybe two.
in the conversation we had, it's because like you have such a personality and a character that it's easy to capture in what you're doing. You know what I mean? Where some of those people that were, yeah, they knew how to do business stuff, but
Yeah.
they could never have a camera in front of them, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
or they're just not
And they
interesting.
get mad at me because I
You know
talk
what I mean?
shit like this
thing
motherfuckers
is-
don't be having personality. Like the fuck
A lot
outta
of them
here,
don't.
You
You know what I mean?
saying?
Most of them, I would always say,
Yeah.
like, most of these girls or guys would never fuck any of these girls if it wasn't for
If
porn.
it wasn't for porno.
You know what I mean?
I'm
'Cause they
glad
didn't
you
have the
said that,
game.
'cause
They
if I
didn't have
said
the
that,
game,
then,
but it's
oh, this
true.
nigga talking crazy. Nah, that's facts. That's facts.
And
That's
I
how
was married
feel.
to one of them. I know.
Ah,
Good dick was
yeah.
was trouble. The good dick makes you do a lot of bad things.
You know what? I ain't even. Yo, you probably played basketball with him before. On some real shit. You probably know exactly who her husband was. Because he be around. You know.
He says he knows a lot of things. I don't know.
Yeah. He over there on the low. He Googling right now. Like, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's just so strange.
What happened?
So
What happened?
because it's the homie. when you bring up people in your industry that you know personally, I can't Google them now. Cause I feel like I gotta
Because
treat
his
him like.
dick's gonna pop up.
No, I don't even think about that. But like, it's the homies. So I just kind of look at his homies like I just try to respect his homies, you know. So I be like, I don't want it. I ain't trying to. You know.
So you didn't Google me before I got
did
here.
no.
But you've never heard of the name. You don't watch porn.
No, of course I watch porn. Come on, I'm a human being.
But you didn't even know who Lisa Ann was, and you were sitting in lunch with her. So I'm just asking. I think it's a fair
Right, 'cause she
question.
was a
No, that's
beast.
fair. But she keep my eye at the gym.
That
right?
doesn't mean shit. She still looks like Lisa Ann. She did gym workouts.
I didn't know who she was.
You're not a titty man.
No, not really.
You're an ass man. So then you should have known who I was.
Listen.
Unless you're young.
I've heard. Trust me, our fans talk about you every week. So they requested you a billion times. They requested you. Okay, a billion times. No, but I did not look you up until today. After he just sent me a picture.
What popped up?
I don't know. I didn't.
I like
I
she
just,
5 minutes away. He was like,
Yeah, I
oh,
hit
shit.
Image tried to make a steal.
Word.
I hit Image.
Oh,
made a steal for it, yeah.
damn.
But yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Is that
Nah,
offensive?
love is love.
No, not at all.
I don't know.
I don't care at all.
I don't know.
I offensive to me is not the truth. Don't lie to me. Tell me that the truth is honest.
Okay,
That's not
for sure,
offensive
for sure.
at
Okay,
all.
for sure.
Let's talk about that video you was in. What was that? Bands that make you dance. Though, what's that? The Juicy J joint.
Yeah, fucking long ago that was.
Did you?
That was a
enjoy
long time
that?
ago. So
That definitely was a long
it
time
was
ago. Yeah.
It's funny because
I was like, look at the homie. She in the video. I was excited for you. I
It
ain't
was a
gonna
lot.
lie.
It was fun. It was probably the easiest money I've ever made in my entire
Yeah,
life because it was
yeah.
literally an hour. They had it because it was a paid sponsorship by the company that I was there for.
Mm-hmm.
Or what was it? I think Brazzers.
Mhm.
And so they paid for them to be in the video. I guess so. I don't know how that works in the music industry, whatever.
Yeah.
So literally, I just did it was in a dancing thing, and dancing in a booth with their shirt on.
Yeah.
But it was a funny environment to be in because I had never been on a video set. Like I'm not a video vixen girl.
yeah.
Like
No, I
I
feel you.
wasn't whatever. So it was.
And your
it
check was
really,
a little higher than just a regular video check.
I'm sure.
Yeah, a little
I mean, when I went there,
Yeah,
because
a
like I
little
had been in the
higher.
locker room with everybody. Like I got my makeup done in there. The makeup honestly took everything to get ready was longer than me being in there.
And then what you
But
had
so
to
you
do,
hear
yeah.
all the like cattiness because it was like in a strip club. So it's all these like girls that are like getting ready, like whatever, all these things. And yeah, so it was just a funny environment. But then I was supposed to do a scene with Juicy J too, but apparently, so I heard allegedly that he was too nervous to do the scene with me, so that he just wanted to just do a solo. And now when I was like, okay, well, why are you so
Okay.
nervous?
Right.
But Project Pat was there, and he was super dope.
But,
he was really cool.
I met all of them. They
Yeah.
And that's one thing you know about us being who we are. And I wouldn't have knew them probably
Yeah.
if I wasn't Nat Turner, but they knew who Nat Turner was,
sure.
so showed me love when I seen them. This was like Howard Homecoming years ago. Yeah, this was mad years ago. But that's why when I saw you in the video, I was like, oh, she in the homie video.
It
Like,
was super. I mean, honestly, it was a lot of fun. And, like the other people did, like Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz, they did their stuff separate days. So I didn't see any of them. I didn't like cross. It was just Juicy J and.
No, we
and,
understand how that works.
But it was fun. It was cool because it is like it was a popular song. So I mean, it was cool,
that was
too.
lit. No, that was a good
Every
look for you.
time I see it, hear
That
it
was a
come
good
on.
look for you.
Yeah.
It was a good look for you. I remember, I understand that too because I got hired to do something for Westwood. A show on HBO was called Westwood with Anthony Hopkins, and just some shit where I was just standing there naked with some body paint on, and that was one of the biggest bags
frontal.
I've got. Yeah, it was a frontal.
Full frontal.
Yeah, a soft one at that. Like niggas just standing there like, you know what I'm saying? You feel embarrassed to get hard because there's mad people around you. Like.
That's what you're there for.
You just standing. No, they didn't want that. Like it wasn't about that.
it's
It
just
was
naked,
just
naked.
naked. You
Oh,
know what I
you're-
mean?
okay,
Nudity.
yeah.
But I was fighting not to get hard. I fought all day not to get hard because I didn't want to be the
you
only
think
motherfucker
about-
walking around hard.
What'd you think
like,
about not being
Yo,
hard?
what up? Nah, yeah. I had to think about elephants and fucking jungle
Elephant.
lions and all kind of shit. Like,
Jungle Lions.
yeah, I had to think crazy, not thinking, because there was a bunch of other naked women walking around with body
Right.
paint on too. And I remember one came and touched
You're
me,
such a perv, I
fucking
love
with me.
it.
She came and touched my dick like that. I was like, I had to go to the back and just chill for a minute, like, all right, and
Most
then
people
come
would
back.
be upset about that. You were like, please bring it on more. Please touch it again.
No, I was, but not in this environment. Like, this is
No,
not
for
that
sure.
environment. But anyway, the bag was big. And all I did was just stand there naked. And if you look it up, they've used that scene. I'm really in the
Isn't
movie.
it crazy how like when you do stuff like that, you realize you're like, how much like the pay I'm getting for
Yes,
this,
it's
the
like,
pay I'm getting
what?
for
Why
this,
can't I
what
just
am I
do
doing?
this? I ain't have to get hard. I
Something
didn't
is
have to
wrong
get
here.
hard. I had to
Exactly.
fuck nobody.
For sure.
And when they was putting the paint on me, it was these ladies painting me, and I'm just standing there like,
And
oh,
you
I
can't-
hope my dick don't get hard. Don't get
Yeah,
hard.
I've never
Please don't
done-
get hard. Don't do it. I swear to you, when they was putting that paint on me, I was
mean,
a
but
little
how could
aroused.
you not? I mean, you're touching
Yeah.
your parts. I mean,
And then they had to paint my joint. Like, I was like,
excuse me, master. Can you move your? That's
I'll never
hilarious.
forget that shit. But I ain't put my dick in them ladies' face, so they
That's
probably
nice
was
of
like,
you.
he's a gentleman.
A gentleman.
Yeah, because I could have definitely been walking around with a hard on
swordsman.
all day.
We have another question from the chat room.
Oh shoot.
This is for Alexis, of course. They want to know, how did your close friends and family respond when they found out your career?
How did my close friends and family? So my friends, I told my friends first because literally, I went and did my first scene for Bang Bros, and then I shot that, and I moved like literally immediately after. So I moved a week later. But with Bang Bros, because it was internet and it was new, I did it Friday and it was released on Monday. So when I was at school, everyone and their mom was like, well, not everyone and their moms were at home, but everyone in my classes were like on an upward. So anyway, so I left in a week. So my friends, they weren't shocked because I've always been a sexual person, but they definitely didn't think anyone they'd ever know would be a porn star, quote unquote. Or at that time I wasn't.
So you was humping the college quarterback.
Fucked
the
a lot,
college, the high school quarterback and or the
At one
linebacker.
time,
Was
yeah.
the quarterback or the linebacker? Which one was
The
it?
quarterback. I fucked the quarterback for sure. And
He
then
said, I
some
fucked a few quarterbacks for sure.
No, he was just one in high
Okay.
school.
And what high school? I mean, not what high school. You don't have to say that. But what environment was this? All white, predominantly high school, Puerto Rican white, or what was
yeah,
it?
so I from
In
a
Texas,
small
obviously,
town outside of San Antonio,
Okay.
and it was like literally probably white and Mexican, and we probably had I think one black family.
Wow.
Because it's military based too. So, but yeah.
Wow.
But that was probably like our. Yeah.
Also, the linebacker.
I don't
was
even
the black
think we.
dude.
No, wasn't.
It was. Damn it.
He like.
When he was on the bench, like that.
No,
what he did.
what's the one that is it the defensive? What's the one that runs in like?
A wide receiver.
Yeah, maybe that.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, that one.
So the quarterback threw him the ball, type of thing. That's
Yeah.
Okay. The quarterback you was fucking threw the.
Yeah, actually.
Him the ball.
Yeah, because he was in the same grade. He was actually younger than me. I was actually fucking somebody. Back in my old
He
days.
was robbing the crane. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
now I'm much on like I don't really definitely like go for younger men. Now I feel like it's older.
That's how you feel now.
Yeah, that was like in my young, obviously preteen. You're figuring out a lot of things like hormonally, But yeah, no, I can't deal with like. I'm too
Is
mature
there
in my
age
head.
that you won't go past, or how old?
I don't
will
really
you
like
talk
putting
to
restrictions on something because I feel like that's limiting things. So if like the right person came along and the situation
So you'll
called
take
for
a
it,
60-year-old right now? Like if he swagged
mean,
out like that,
maybe.
55, like if he
Shoot your shot,
you know what I'm
baby.
saying? Shoot your shot. You never know. I hear
You don't like for me.
I-
It's like
I
I
hear
don't like why put a limit? Like if you're going to put in the work and if we connect or whatever way it is, and you check off my standards and my boundaries list, then maybe you can. You
And
know.
what is that list though?
Yeah, that's for personal reasons
That's
only.
personal.
Everybody, if I
We'll
told
talk about
everyone,
that off
then they're gonna
camera.
act like and fake
And
it to
then
Miss
act fake
Texas,
that.
and then
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
feel you.
no.
That makes sense.
Women can't see. I hate always that answer is like always double ended because it's like you want to know like because you want insight, but you should do the work to figure that out. You shouldn't just be like given a
facts.
blueprint because then it's
Facts.
just too easy, and then you don't know if it's authentic, so if it's gonna last.
I'm the master of paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, if something ain't going right, I'ma know immediately, and I'ma switch that shit up. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Facts. That's what's up. But over. What you got?
Got another
ahead,
question.
ahead.
Before you got into the industry, what did you think you were going to do?
Before I got in the industry, so I was going to school for actually respiratory care therapy. Sounds horrible and like really boring. It was just like healthcare. It was like in the healthcare field. I wanted to do nursing, but it was more on like administration level.
Well, that would have been ill during the pandemic.
To say right now, you'd be
yeah,
rich as
you
a
would have
mother.
been up.
Yeah, but for
If
me,
you had already been up, like you would have been a millionaire during the pandemic.
yeah, or stressed out. You know,
Or stressed
who
out.
knows? You know
or
what I
ready
mean?
to
Like,
hang yourself the fuck up.
you know, I learned, you know, not that I can't do it, but me in 9 to 5 type situations, and that's not even 9 to 5. That's probably more hours. It's not really my thing. Like, I feel like after I got a taste of making money and doing stuff, like I'm just an entrepreneur and a business person, so it's like my mindset just goes on that level. Like I would have liked to, but like that my goal was to go back to school, but I was like, I've already done too much that I can't cross those lines. For me personally, maybe later on sometime, but I just was like, yeah, I'd rather just make my own businesses and hope they stay successful.
I feel you. I don't think nobody really want to go for that.
True, it's not
if
ideal.
they can't, you know what I'm saying? But some people have to.
But some people don't know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Some
Yeah,
people don't
some people
have like the
have to.
outlets to do that.
The
But because I
moxie,
have gotten
yeah.
to that point where now that I do, to go back to do that would be very, I don't know. Like I said, not that it couldn't be done, but I just don't see that in my future.
Do you think you can have an agency as far as just running females and,
You know,
and
I've
being a
thought about it.
spiegler? You think you could be a spiegler?
I definitely know I can be. It's just if I want to be, because
I
I've
feel-
thought
'cause
about
that's
it
hard
for
work. It
you know
ain't-
for
it
sure,
ain't
and
easy.
I've thought
I was
about
telling
it
him that
a couple
earlier.
years ago. Seriously, with like a couple of my girlfriends, actually, an all female thing,
Mm.
but it is a lot of work, and I envy or I put praise on people like Derek and Spiegler and all these
And
people is
Spe-
because
yeah,
they're there on call
yeah,
all the time,
yeah.
and it's like they're babysitting them from start to finish, and not every girl is the same.
Yeah.
But I've got my own issues that I can't deal with 30 people or whoever many
Yeah,
people, whatever,
30 different issues.
to ensure like that. Like to me, I feel like I've excelled past that in my life as well too. That I don't see myself like that doesn't do anything for me. Maybe for somebody else that's like serving, but for me, I'm Gucci.
Yeah, past that. No, I feel you.
I'd rather invest and make somebody else be the
let
person
somebody
to
else
do
do
it.
that. I put my face on it. You
know,
go
at this
do
point,
the
too,
footwork
it's-
and do all that. Yeah.
Exactly.
And babysitting and yeah.
It's a tough job, you
It
know,
is,
and
it
especially
is.
nowadays. I mean,
It is.
I could only imagine. I have been in and out of the business for quite some time, and I don't know how the agencies have changed, but I can only imagine how it is to get girls on sets because of OnlyFans type things and all. Like, do girls even work?
yeah,
Like, I don't even
even-
know the
yeah,
dynamic
yeah.
and who's
So
even
that's
popular
one thing they
within
don't
that.
understand, that just like how people don't want to go to work in society, how you hear on the news all these job openings, don't
There's a
nobody
shortage
want to
of
go to
sex
work.
workers out.
Yeah, it's a shortage of porno stars.
PSA, there's a shortage.
And that's interesting. That's gangster. You brought that up because I haven't been around that in a minute now, like
For
at least
sure.
2 years. So I don't know.
Even like Exoticas,
I don't know who the
like,
top chick is. Like, I
Exoticas
don't
want,
even know.
we're a big part of the last couple of years of my life pre-pandemic, and it's hard to know like how you integrate that. But even now, like I don't know who would be the top girls there. Like I don't know
even
new
know
girl.
who-
I don't know.
Who
I don't know.
is the Alexis Texas right now?
There's only
I
one
don't know.
Alexis
I mean, you know what I'm
Texas.
saying. Like, who got that popularity as such?
The only girl that I could really say that's, and I don't even know if she's even still shooting, but like that's new, like that has taken like over my like epic ass thing would be a Bella Danger. You know what I mean?
She's not no
But-
more. She
but
probably
but she's not shooting.
She's not the new right now.
What's I'm saying? Yeah, I don't. Other
I've
than
shot
her,
with
like,
her a couple times.
but that's
No,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
that's
Like
we
she's
cool.
the last
She cool.
person that I know. Like I don't know anybody past her group. I don't know like who's
That's
the new girl.
what I'm saying
you know?
too.
Like,
I would say the same thing. I don't.
like I have no. Like I don't even know. Like if I
yeah,
saw
like who's
some,
today?
yeah, I
like
have no idea.
right now. I don't know.
I'd fail that test.
Yeah, I don't
If
know.
there was
what
a
the fuck
test
going
about
on.
current porn
Yeah.
girls, I would not know.
I wouldn't know names. I wouldn't know shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah.
Nah. But
Hall of
no,
Fame
that's what happens when you
2022,
walk away. You
baby.
know what I'm saying? Fuck us knowing their name. They know our name.
You know,
But they
Yeah.
know our name.
some of them. That's the sad part
No,
about
they
it
know our
sometimes.
name,
Sometimes.
Some of them probably do just come from nowhere and never really fuck with porn or watch porn or know what's going on.
And that's the thing. And for me, like when she's get to a certain thing, it's just like you may not know, but just respect. because you don't know what any, and it's not about respecting who I am. It's just respecting people.
So
'Cause
you
like, if
feel like you gotten your respect so far, but there's been pockets that you had to check some motherfuckers like.
I definitely
who
think
I am?
think you show
You know who I am?
what facts. I mean, I think if anybody doesn't, then they're lying. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's always boundaries that you can take, and you know, mine is respect. And if you're not
Sometimes
gonna
I do it
respect
just
me,
because. Fuck that. I'll just
that's what I'm saying.
conquer
You
my
let them
own
know
beef.
one time.
Like, you motherfuckers better know who the fuck
The
I am. Ain't nobody say
second time-
nothing, but I just be like, fuck it.
Funny
I'm
enough,
gonna
I
go
used to
in
say that
anyway.
in college, and I was nobody in college. And like, maybe it was just presumptuous to be. You know where I'm from?
you
Nowhere
knew it was
cool.
coming.
Not
Well,
anything.
yeah, outside of San Antonio, wherever you talking about, I don't know
I
where
was in a
that's at.
cornfield. Nobody cares.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody
I don't
cares.
think it was popping. They was listening. You like Sugar Free?
No.
The rapper? You like E40?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I fuck with E40.
She's from Texas.
You know, you need some Paul Wall in
Nah,
there.
I was fucking
with him 'cause
you
those
need some-
this
I was
way.
finna say that's I wore my
So,
you know
no,
I
Oh,
I'm
always
just
oh.
fucking with him. But I know Texas
I always wear
rappers
my
too.
West Coast shit when you
She's
come.
a Slim
just so you
Thug
know.
fan or some shit.
Oh.
Well, what's the
Okay.
nigga with the white boy with the girls?
Nah,
What
she
was
already
his
said
name?
Paul
Oh,
Wall.
Paul, yeah, Paul Wall. And what was
What you
UGK
just try to
and shit
call
like
it?
that?
Who did you grow?
The
Who did you grow up
be-
listening to?
Huh?
Who did you grow up listening to?
Paul Wall, like T.I., like,
You know, T.I. was at the fucking Improv
I
last
saw
night
your
doing
little thing
fucking.
too. Was he really funny? No.
He did good enough. I mean,
No. I felt like it was just like, you know, when you're drunk and you think you're funny.
no, he really trying to do that. He
Oh,
really, that ain't his
okay.
first. He really running
Well, the
around
clips
doing
I
that.
saw, I didn't feel were the best. Maybe his punchline took a little longer to like develop.
No,
but
yeah, I
don't
didn't
know.
film because it was hard to film because
It
they
just was-
kept being like, stop filming because they probably didn't want him to be filmed. He on some Dave Chappelle shit,
Yeah.
but
I wonder.
it was
how
okay. it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, you got anytime you start off doing comedy, you got to hit the little clubs to work out your jokes.
No,
and get your
yeah,
timing
no.
and shit,
Some of
so-
them hit those little clubs. their
I
whole
love the
career.
I used to go to the comedy clubs all the time. I used to go to the improv all the time.
No, I
right?
love it. I haven't been there in a while since the pandemic and
Me
all that,
either,
since
yeah.
they shut down. But this was my first time going
Okay.
in 2.5 years.
Yeah. It's
So
fun.
no, I love the improv.
I've seen mad people like that you wouldn't expect, like just
Yeah.
random. You're like, oh, okay.
Nah, that's fly. We got hit it next Monday.
Okay.
I mean, if your anxiety levels is
I could do that stuff. I'm
Okay,
good.
all right,
Yeah,
cool.
club things where like people are like taking shots like next
We
to me
can't
at the
sit
bar.
toward the front though,
No, we're in the
because
back
they're
table
gonna
with
take
that.
shots at you, whoever the comedian
No, we
is.
sit in their little table
Oh, we
in the
gotta
back.
go to the back. Okay,
Their tables
so
in the
you're
back.
not.
I knew where
don't
you
wanna
were.
sit-
I knew
oh,
where
no,
you
I'm
were.
not sitting in the front.
No,
I know. I
knew
did
where
that on
you
purpose.
were,
Exactly.
Because that's where they put us, like when you get, because like.
D-Ray section. That's his little section. Yeah, facts. That's exactly where
So I was
was.
like, I knew where you were.
Exactly. That's exactly where I was in
I
D-Ray
see.
section. You absolutely right. Because I'm not going into the front. Because then it's.
No, I've
Hold
never.
on, the porno. Oh, you did it. Then
I've
it's a whole
never,
set
like,
on some porno
That's
shit.
my anxiety problem. Like I couldn't do that. Like I would be worried the whole time. Are they gonna pick me? They're never gonna pick me, but I'm gonna be like, they're gonna pick me, and I'm just gonna feel like
They're
that
gonna
the whole
say
time.
something. That you sitting at in the front, they gonna say
No.
something. Whether they realize you Alexis Texas or not, they gonna get on you. So I don't even bother with that shit. That's when I go, I just sit in the back like fuck that. I don't feel like being bothered with this shit. Sometimes I feel like being bothered. I sit in the front. Like,
No,
fuck
not
it,
ever.
you know what I'm saying? Nah, sometimes
Never.
I'm like, I'm going for it tonight. Depends on how many shots I have.
I-
Like, fuck it. I ain't got no anxiety issues. I don't give a
I'm
fuck.
happy that you don't,
be
but
a
again,
1,000
you
motherfuckers
you
around
have
me,
to
I'm just-
remember also you are a male.
I am.
And not
I
only
am.
a male,
I'm
but you're a
6'2",
rather large
fucking 60.
male that no one's
Yeah.
gonna fuck with you when they want to say
I
whatever.
start
Because I'm
realizing
sure
that at 15, 16. I get it.
there's certain
get it. I'm
there's
like,
certain
yo, hold on,
things
why
that
niggas
I
acting
want to
funny
venture
when I
out
walk in the
to,
room?
and I do in my own bubble.
Yo.
But yeah, catch me outside. I'm usually outside daytime.
Nah, I got you. So we gotta go to a
Day
day
party, you
function.
know?
We gotta go to a day
I want to be
function.
drunk by like early, but I'll be up. I'm gonna be in bed by like 9:30.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. That's my life. That's why when you like
Yeah,
text
because
me,
I hit you the other
and
night.
I was like,
and
I
I didn't
was-
realize it was that late. I'm sorry. It was
I
like
didn't
12
care.
something.
It's not gonna
But you
bother
was
me. I'm
like,
asleep.
the next day, you was like, I was asleep 3 hours before that. I was done.
Yeah, I went home and I smoked. I took my dogs out and passed out.
No, that's what's up. That's the grown life. I wish I could
I
just
just
sit
wake up
my ass
early.
down
You know
like
what it
that.
is? I wake up at like 6:30 every morning,
And then
regardless
you
of
looking
what day
around
it
with nothing to
is.
do at 6:30 in the morning. What you gonna do?
Well, I start my day, so I don't get out of bed until like 7:30, and then I take my dogs out. I have a whole morning ritual thing,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I work out, and then I have to work.
Okay.
Every day is a little bit
You
different.
have to be your brand,
Facts. I have like four
whatever the
different things
case may
going
be.
on. I
No, I
have a
feel you.
podcast. I have a merch line that I'm just doing that's launching on Valentine's Day with Looptify.
We got a
Um,
link with that. I need to get into merch
okay.
situations. I think I don't even have a dick mold, like none of that. Like I have no
This is
merch
why we're gonna
like
be
that.
Twerk
Like
Tower Entertainment. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
twerk tower. Well, we gotta change it for my for my particular management. We
Alexis,
got
Texas
yes,
Entertainment.
yeah, Alexis, Texas. I'm with that branch. Not the twerk. The twerk shit is some other shit.
I
I
gotta
don't
have
know.
two
I'm
separate
with the
divisions for
yeah. I need
you
that. I
to
need I
be.
need a different division. Come on, man.
We could
Don't
do
put
it.
me in the
Yeah,
twerk one. Like
yeah. I
the
like it.
fuck? Know
I
what
could
I'm
do it.
saying?
Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of. I've been working in the last 2
My
years on
gay
some
fans will like
NFT
that,
stuff.
but they'll never get
Um,
it.
so I have an NFT like announcement thing coming out really soon. Um, I have some cannabis stuff I've been working on. But yeah, just keep it's all about branding and keeping the longevity of my career and making it a legacy so people
And
will
I'm rooting
always
on you.
see Alexis,
I'm rooting
Texas.
on you. Facts. I mean, you didn't show up with your birthday suit all those years and
Hey, I
take
did it
all
for
those
a reason.
penises for nothing. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
it was a lot of fun
We
doing
need
it,
to rock this to the. You know what I mean?
To the wheels fall
To
off?
the
My
wheels
wheels do
fall
not
off.
fall off. We
I
keep it
don't think
right.
they will. I think you would definitely be one of those Julia Anns at 50 something, like going on 50 and then still like a sex object and still respected and
For sure.
motherfuckers still fuck with you, and I believe that. So
Appreciate it.
I think your
Love.
career did that for you. You could ride off to the sunset, I think, at this point. You know what I
In
mean?
my porno carriage.
You put enough work in.
I
Enough
appreciate
quality
it.
work.
All love, for sure.
Enough quality work. And yeah, I don't know how long I got to go, but you know, shit.
With
We'll figure it
Alexis
out.
Texas Entertainment, you got another good 5 to
Okay, so
7.
you gonna rock it
5 to
even for
7.
okay,
You
so
good.
say less. So
It's about the
let's
right
work on
team
that.
behind you. You know what I
No,
mean?
facts. Let's work on that. I have a cool brand. I think it could go far. We just gotta figure it out.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Huh?
You gotta believe in yourself.
Facts. That's how I've been here all this time. It wasn't because I had the biggest dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't, you know what I mean? One of them abnormal, like, I just was cool. So they let me rock.
Let it rock.
They let me rock.
Let
Like,
it roll.
he cool. He's a cool dude. Let him rock.
I,
You know what
I,
I
have
mean?
a, I have a question for you. So I've been trying to get Keith over here into acting, like actual acting, away from the other side of the world. And T.I.'s doing comedy. So for you, if you had to jump off into another profession, like head first, right? What would it be?
I feel like for me, I'm doing media and broadcasting right now with podcasting. You know what I mean? It's a big one. But I also, too, have been approached for doing some acting stuff as well. And I never thought that I wanted to do that. And I don't know if it's because I didn't think I could do it. But I definitely think that it would be interesting if I do get to play the role that is offered. Because it'd be something very different for me. So I feel like that is, and with that though, it's like, it's also a craft. So it's like something, I never wanted to do it if it was like, oh, it's just because it's Alexis, Texas. I wanted to do it to being like a meaningful type of role. So I feel like it's a possibility that I could, go that route myself. It's definitely intriguing to kind of see what I can possibly do.
Well, let's put it out there. What would be a dream role?
I don't necessarily know if I have a dream role, but I was presented material from somebody that has something that they've been working on that they thought that the role would be like something good for me. That is very different out of my element and everything. So I'm hopeful and that that I could do it and do it right. But yeah, so I think for me that would be ideal because I've never done it. And for me off the top, I would have wanted to say no because I didn't think I could do it because there's so many pieces to it. But I think that because of the progression of kind of how I've developed myself the last like 6 months in that journey too, I think is really kind of helped this part as well.
If you could play any actress in a film, what would it be?
Play
You
any
can play
actress.
any character in the world in history,
It would be like a superhero,
or like
a drama, love scene, comedy. What you think?
biopic.
If you was given that shot, what you would think? Suspense, drama, like what you think you would be good
A
at?
little Tomb Raider action, you know what I'm saying?
And you could judge that off your career in porno. Like, you know, sometimes we have little scenes where we got to do a little bit of acting and what you felt comfortable with. Did you feel comfortable with that?
I never really did a lot of that stuff. I feel like it was, for me, a lot of it too is like a place in my, like I realized that I wasn't comfortable with being vulnerable, and acting in those things is a lot about being vulnerable as a person. So because I've kind of going through that in my real life is why I feel like I probably could. So I don't think I have like that. For me, I feel like I could probably do really well with drama because I've done with a lot of trauma. So you feel like you can relate to certain things. But I also like love stories because that's fun and gushy and everyone likes a good romance. You know what I mean? But it would be cool and ideal to do like an action thing where you're like, you know, either like some CIA, like I like military like type movies, like kind of
Gun with a badge
assassinations. Like,
and-
you know, be a
and
bad
you the
bitch and just
female
kill some
cop
people
or some
that
shit?
need to be killed.
You the female cop or the female assassin?
Assassin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I want to be a sniper.
No. I mean, that's what's up.
The Texas sniper.
Texas sniper. No, that's what's up. And you prefer gushy, you like and all that?
You know, I think it's
or
about
you
time
the-
in life. Like,
like, which one is you? I don't know. Are you the or the
like what, for my movies or for
No,
my
personal.
sex?
We talking personal.
It's time and place. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to just be all lovey and mushy all the time, but I like
Okay.
sensual. I wouldn't say love and mushy, whatever, but I like a good ass spanking, spitting, hair pulling, you know, in the right ways. But some people don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And
you
I
gotta get
also,
to
because
the
in
back
the
and pull it
personal,
right. Like, you
but not
can't
only
just-
that, but spanking. Like, I have a big ass, so everyone gets really like, oh my God, it wants to spank me. But I've had to stop and be like, excuse me, like, I'm going to have bruises or I'm going to have, they're like, and they think that I'm crazy.
Nah,
but I'm just
it's
like,
a proper spanking.
oh wait. So then I would
feel you.
teach them and then they're like, oh. But again, I'm learning, like, I'm in the level of like, you know, being in the adult industry and then having personal sex. I don't want to over teach them, nor do I want to feel obligated that they need to be taught.
To be taught, yeah, because that's just awkward.
Because they want that. They're like, well, what do you want? I'm like,
whatever.
bitch, you don't know?
No,
Like,
and
then
that's
why
what
are
I
we
was
here?
telling you earlier. That's why I said I pay attention. That was my cold thing that I figured out. Pay attention. They
But a
tell
lot
you
of-
what they want and how they want it.
But a
Or
lot
if
of
you're
people are
doing
just
something
selfish.
that's not that they don't like, they gonna tell you.
But
Somehow in
the
their
flip side,
expression.
though, but we should also, as women, not just on my expression, I should vocally say to you, hey, and it's about how you say it, not what you say. Because I'm like, hey, stop that. No one's gonna be like, hey, bitch, I don't want to talk to you. But you know what I mean? It's like, hey, I don't, you know, could you do it this way? Or like what I was saying is because
No,
I
that's important, too.
sometimes didn't
That's
want to hurt
important, too.
people's feelings, and I'm like, why am I here? Like, this is doing nothing to me right now. And then I feel like, why did I even sit here and do this? So I've learned to be like, because I don't want that. I want to enjoy the situation too, and that, but not over teach.
So you like getting it all out in the beginning just so we could just, this is what we both like, this is what we both
I don't need
into,
to
and
have like a like
sometimes,
whatever. But
I know what you're saying.
but I
Not
think
just sit down, listen,
progressionally,
nigga, this is what I
when
want.
you have sex, you're like, you work those things out.
Yeah.
And if you have no chemistry or
After
you don't get it,
certain
then you're
times
not
of
coming back
sexing.
to
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
me. I'm
Okay.
sorry. No repeat offenders.
So they could get to a certain point on their own if they deserve to. But then
Yeah.
after that, if they leaving some things out, then you would be like, okay, well, this is
You're not available as much as that you were at one time. You just keep
Okay.
you wean yourself off.
I feel you.
You know?
I feel you.
Because access to this is like a great pleasure.
Hey, you know what you got? You know what I'm saying?
Know your worth.
We got a phone call.
A phone call? We do phone calls here?
Oh no, this is all the fish.
I didn't know
What you
it was
thought
live.
going
Mine's
on?
recorded. That's why I didn't know what we were doing.
Caller.
Oh shit!
Yo, we live, baby.
out of Dallas.
What's going on, Armani? You got a question?
I need a shot for this.
Yo, I got a question, man. Yo, what's up, Alexis? Texas, you in there talking to a king. I hope you're in there being respectful.
I hope you're gonna be respectful, my king.
Yeah, my finger is on the
I
button.
love that. I love that. Yo, no, I honestly heard you tell your story on a podcast one time. I thought it was an incredible story. of how you got into porn. It was fascinating to me for some reason. I don't know if y'all talked about all that, and I ain't trying to lay into the porn stuff, but would you mind telling that story just for this audience? I just think it was a good story.
How I got into the industry? We kind of talked about it a little bit, but
Yeah, we addressed it a little bit.
we talked about it a little bit. But thank you. I appreciate the kind words. So I got into the industry in 2006 October. It was it was the company. It was a reality company called Shane's World. They were doing
Shout out to
things
Shane's
that
World.
were it was called College Amateur
I wonder
Tour.
how that guy's doing.
So they were trying to get
he's old as
girls
shit
in
right now.
college to do scenes that had never done them, and I was birthed out of that movie. And it was random how I met the person. I was going to work. I worked at a bar on the square called Dillinger's, and these people came up to me, and I thought that it was this company Eliminate, because at the time they had approached me like a week later.
I did Eliminate.
Oh,
right?
really? See, they wanted me to.
It was me and 5 girls
I love
trying
it.
to get me.
See, okay, see this.
I'm on Eliminate.
I
swear
love it.
to you.
Okay, so
I swear to you, I'm on
they wanted me
Eliminate.
to do it the week before, and then
they
I was
came
like,
to my
the only
college,
way
too.
I would do it is if I was the one
That's
who was going to
funny.
eliminate people.
Yeah.
But then I never heard from them. But then, so these people, I thought it was the same people. So they're like, and then asked me about something
Wow,
else.
that's interesting.
So,
you said that.
so I was like, so they came in the bar. I was like, if y'all want to talk to me, then you have to come in the bar. I'm opening. You can get to buy a shot. Da da da. So then they spoke to me and they were like, hey, we're doing blah 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 this scene, whatever. They're like, we don't think you're probably gonna do it, but we're gonna go on the way to Austin tonight, which was 30 minutes from the town that I bartended at. And I was like, okay, cool. Call me when you're done. Maybe we'll meet up. Well, they never called me. So the next day I texted and I was like, oh, I guess you didn't really want me to be in your movie. I had no intention of being in the movie, but I was like, oh, they didn't even want me in the movie. So I felt rejected.
Like, what the fuck?
So then he called me immediately and was like, we're on the way to Houston. He was like, we never thought that you would want to even do it. They're like, we'll turn back right now around.
But you knew what it was they were saying it porno. You knew it was
yeah,
sex,
but not really, because they were like we've never done this.
They tried to
So
put
they're
it
like,
mildly.
kind
like,
of, well,
it's
that,
just
and
some
also because
sexy
there's like,
things going
there's
on.
so much porn out there that it's like finding a needle in a haystack. They're like, if you did it, no one would know, and it's a lot of money. And for a college kid, I was like, okay, and I'm getting cash.
But what did they offer at that?
$1,000 cash.
That's still basically what.
As a college kid, I was
Yeah.
making that in a month.
Yeah.
Like at the bar with tips.
I'm about
you know
to go
what I mean?
to some colleges and find me a
I'm giving you ideas,
Texas.
huh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that happened, and then so I was like, I'm not saying I want to do your movie, but the whole time they're talking to me, and he was very convincing of a person. So they're turning around, and they turned around the whole time. I don't know that, but then he's like, well, we're gonna pick you up right now, blah 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 blah. So I kind of got pressured, but I knew what I was getting into because I just wanted to fuck the person. Really, like if I would have fucked.
Oh, so they show who you was gonna fuck. You knew who you was gonna fuck. If
I knew that day that we spoke at the bar because he was the person. The people
dude.
that was with him was the camera people. Like he was the talent.
He was like, I'm the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was like, I would have fucked him anyways, and if I can get this much money, why not?
To fuck him,
and I'm
yeah.
fucking him with the condom on, and I was a sexual.
Yeah, because you wasn't.
I was a sexual
tested
athlete
at
with
the
being a
time,
sexual
in other words.
athlete in college. That's why I said my friends weren't really surprised, but they were surprised I did porn. So yeah, so then we fucked, and like he ended up coming to pick me up. I still was unsure. Obviously, when you got in the car, you probably know what the fuck's going on, but I don't even know. I never watched any of my scenes, so I don't know like the BTS. But they're like asking me questions, like, "Are you excited?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Are you nervous?" I'm like, "Yes." Like, so they buy a blanket from.
No, this is
is
real.
real shit.
This is real
This is
shit.
how Texas-
I've been on those missions before.
So in Texas,
as a talent, I
it's
swear
like
to you,
flea
I have.
market stuff, right? So they buy a blanket at the flea market for
Let's
like
go. She
$10,
said she'll do it. Oh,
$15.
let's go. We go get
We
her
go
right now. Let's do it.
off-roading on this thing, and now we just go and like in someone's land. And mind you, in Texas, it's like miles of like a dirt road, and then there's like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, and not only am I scared that these people are gonna watch me fuck this person, but now I'm like, we're gonna get shot because we're going on somebody's land, and people in Texas,
you on my goddamn
you're all,
property. Everybody got a
like,
shotgun.
We ask questions later. Like nobody's asking.
Buckshot.
What's going on? So literally, we find this tree. It's like, and we go under
find this tree.
This tree, which is not even just like a spare tree. It's like a huge oak tree. So they go and they put the blanket down, and we start doing this scene. They start taking pretty girls. Have no idea what the fuck that means.
What Pretty Girls is at the time.
And then so like literally we start doing this
Pretty
scene.
Girls is just the photos before the scene. They call it Pretty Girls.
So we're doing this scene, and I'm like literally like this because no one's ever watched me fuck. Like I don't know, it's weird, but that was how the scene.
So you never did like a
No.
personal?
Never.
Somebody picked up
I never watched
or
porn.
something?
I never did anything. I was just a sexual being. I fucked a lot.
They really hit the jackpot on that motherfucker.
Yeah. And then so, anyways, long story short, we did the scene. He left to go back to LA.
Mm-hmm.
We kept in contact, and then he was like, a company called Bang Bros wants to shoot you. Comes to find out, I guess he did something, he needed to make up for them. So he's like, I got this new girl, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I flew out to Florida. No, I flew to LA first. I met Derek, and I had the whole Derek thing, which is a whole other story.
Oh,
and then
I
went
know.
to Miami. We went to Miami, and I fell in love with it. Then I moved to LA literally the week later. And then here we are. Alexis, Texas was born.
Facts. Do you remember the time that our company wanted to shoot you? I think I was saying this about this on your other part. Our company wanted to shoot you, but then we realized it was a black company. So, but we was like, we want to shoot her. Anyway, it was Justin Slayer International. And I remember you came in you came there, and I was with my baby mother, Isla Fox. I don't know if you remember who that is, but we came in there, and it was like, we want to shoot her, but now none of us could do it because she don't do interracial.
Yeah.
But so then we asked you, like, so who do you want to work with? What white guy you want to work with? You know what I'm saying?
Were we like looking them up
And
on
I don't
sites?
know who
Were we
you-
looking them up on the computer? I feel like.
Was I what?
Were we looking up like talent on the computer, like in some house?
I don't know what that part was. Maybe I was
like,
doing
looking
that.
at the talent or whatever.
Yeah,
'cause you were
we'll
like,
see.
who
No,
do,
to
you were
see
like,
who you want to work with.
Exactly, 'cause
No,
you're like,
no,
well,
yeah,
who
yeah,
do
that
you
was
want?
that.
Like,
Yeah, that
'cause
was that
I
time.
wasn't fully, when we brought it up the other day, I wasn't completely sure, but then when you say that, I do kind of remember
It
that.
was yes.
And it was also
you
the
was
time,
sitting
I
in
don't remember
there.
who it was. I think it was Justin Slayer. He was like, you don't have your domain name. And he was like, had the whole thing about telling me, like, to finding out on All Who Is. Found out
How
my
do
agent
you-
had the fucking name
Yeah,
and, like, all
because
this
you
stuff.
want that
I was
name.
like, oh,
Alexis
like,
said,
because
he
it
was
was
like,
like,
what are you talking about?
But yeah,
Like, no,
I do
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that
yeah.
day
That
more
would
in depth.
be us to give that information. Like, Ma, you not doing this right. Like, you letting them. Okay,
Bamboozle
cool.
City, yeah.
Okay, cool. But anyway, but he didn't know no better. He was new. But I do remember that. That was my first time, whether you remember or not, my first time seeing you.
Yeah.
You was sitting in there. You was like, I was like, okay, y'all trying to get somebody, because I was the talent for that company. But
Okay.
it was just us.
See, I knew
and we was
none,
all
I knew
black.
none of this because I just showed up on set like every day.
Yeah.
I got my fucking. Derek probably fucking drove me to fucking work that day.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Early, yeah.
Nah. So it's like, okay, so who you want to work with? And then we shot you with, I forgot who it was, who you eventually picked, but
Y'all
we did
didn't
shoot you.
shoot me with Justice that day.
No, it wasn't Justice, because we didn't fuck with Justice Young at that
No?
time. I didn't fuck with him at that time.
I'm trying
We
to remember,
cool,
and I
but
remember
at that time,
I remember,
it was somebody else. You
I
picked
remember
somebody.
the house, and I remember like the whole everything, but I don't ever remember like who
Who
the
you shot
dude
with
was,
or
no.
happened. No.
No.
But that was just the first time I ever, like,
So,
okay,
yeah.
the new girl, Alexis.
I
you know
don't.
what
I
mean?
didn't remember that was you, but I do remember that whole
No,
storyline.
that was me.
Yeah.
And we briefly just walked in a room and I saw you, I was with her,
But I
which
knew-
became my
yeah.
baby mother. I was
And
with
I
her,
was
and
with
we
my
left.
ex at the time, and that's how I really like. I think he like was introduced me to you, and
Yeah.
that's like kind of in my mind when I thought you.
Nah,
met,
facts. And then you had brought up the situation at the AVN.
Yeah,
When I
and
was
that's
like-
whenever for me was like solidified you being like a G for life and like a homie that I was like, oh, like I'll watch out for you, like
Nah,
look out for you in a
facts.
sense of like kind of, and it's always been kind of love after that.
Nah, and I
But-
appreciate that. And that was just without malice. That's just how I felt that day. So I stepped up like,
100,
nah.
and that's why for
You know what
me
I'm
is
saying?
what I always feel is like I don't always attest to do the right things. I'm not perfect by any means,
Mm-hmm.
but what I know is right and what's wrong is wrong. And at that moment, I knew I was not wrong, and I knew why for me, the people who were standing behind me was like, you're at the same loyalty level as me. Because some people don't know what loyalty is and don't
Yeah.
know how to possess what that really means without having to say it and tell you what that is. So I was
Facts.
like, okay, you get it. So that's for me is like
Facts.
where it was. But
Nah, love is love. And,
Hey.
holla if you need me, ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you.
thankfully, I am happily divorced and, ready,
Yo,
single and ready
we
to
just
mingle.
keep throwing shots at this person, but we not bringing up no names.
How is that
so he's gonna leave
throwing
it alone.
shots? That's telling my life.
No, but everybody know who it was.
You
If they
can
know
say
who
who it was. I don't care. I was married
Mr.
to Mr.
Pete,
Pete.
you
I am
fucking-
divorced from Mr. Pete. I'm
Mr.
not.
Pete.
Did you scream his name?
Yes, I told you know who he's talking about. I know you knew who he's talking about. I just didn't say the
Shout
name.
out to Pete, man.
Yeah, Mr. Pete.
That's the-
Nah, yeah, shout out.
It's not
And then I was
anything
like,
bad. That's what I'm
That's
saying for me.
crazy.
Is
I
it's
like they
all,
go,
That's crazy.
they
I
gonna
have-
knock her for doing some iteration
have
shit. That was a
love
nigga.
interest.
I used to.
respect, but that's also to my ex-husband and ex for a reason. And that's no tea, no shade. It's just the truth. Are you disappointed over there?
Yo, no, you know what? I mean, shout out to Mr. Pete, but I think he struggled with moving forward after that was over. Like, you know, you got your Alexis, Texas. I'm Nat Turner. I could still do other things.
Yeah.
And we had conversations where it was a little struggle for him to move on from that or be still that, but still be that dude. It was just if he not doing scenes, it's a wrap for him. You know what I mean?
Love is love.
Yeah, love is
and
love, though.
I
Love
have
is
a
love.
story and I have a thing, you know what I mean? Like for me, it's like my mission and anything like what I had, like I obviously had a relationship with him. We were married, whatever. I married him for a reason because I loved him, but you know it didn't work out. I wish him well from the other, you know, on that side.
Mm-hmm.
It's all love. But at the same time too,
Facts.
things don't work out for a reason. I'm a, you know, the person I was when I was with him. I'm very different now and have different needs and wants. If it's because of that or in spite of it, whatever.
How did you meet him, on set, or
Yeah.
y'all did a scene together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everything for me was never about, you know, I never wasn't never open about anything about him because it was nobody else's business but myself. You know, I've never been any of, you know, those things, but, you know, I have my own stories to tell and maybe one day they'll come out and maybe one day they won't. But,
Well,
you know.
I'm not gonna put them out there. I know a few
I mean,
stories myself, but I'm not.
Of
I
course,
don't
but that's the
care
thing is
about
like for
saying
me,
that.
it's all about,
You
you know,
know.
in timing and it's all about, you know,
Whatever.
if it's meant to, you know, things happen for a reason.
Nah, that's all love. I ain't, you know what I mean? I'm not here to. That's not. I don't care. But yo, this shit is funny though.
Is it strange to date someone outside of the industry when you're in the industry? Like,
I don't know because I never did it.
Oh well, okay.
Well, that's not completely true. My last person that I was with in a relationship, I was in a relationship when I was in the industry when we first met, and we had a discussion, and I was towards the end of my career anyways, and so he didn't want me to be with anyone but him, so we made the conscious choice not to do that because I just feel like I've kind of been there, done that in a sense too, so I was ready to kind of just, there wasn't really a big importance at the time. So yeah, so because of that is kind of why I kind of stopped doing scenes. And I also too, when I started, I always said like I wanted to be the person that was like, I stopped doing scenes when I wanted to, when I was done, not when they're like, oh God, you're still doing scenes kind of thing. So I feel like, you know, I did just that. I had it until I was having fun. There was no that I had two contracts, and at the end of, you know, when I was contracted with Elegant Angel was when I was with my last partner, and then that was kind of why I made the decisions furthermore after that to end my career as well. But I never was one of those people who was like, oh, I'm retired of this because maybe I will come back. Maybe I didn't finish and do everything, and I wanted to kind of leave that open too because, you know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. But at this point in time, I'm liking the career path that I've been going with the podcast and elevating with that. But
No, it's interesting you say that because I felt the same way. I didn't want to be dead still where it's like,
you're like,
nigga,
damn,
you
you're still
Like,
here? Like,
so I had to make that, and I made that conscious thing in my head years before I did it.
yeah.
I was like, because I was looking at, you know, shout out to like the Shawn Michaels and
Well, because
the
you
other older
see
cast.
it, and
So I'm like,
but you
this
also
nigga
see the
50,
negative.
he's still
But you
sitting on
see the
set doing
negative
this
too,
shit, like,
even though that they're legends. You know what I mean? It's
yo,
because,
you a legend, yeah, nah, love is love.
and that's why for me it was like
but-
I just didn't want it to be a discussion. It's just what it is.
Yeah,
This is how
yeah,
I did it. I've always made my career what I've wanted, not anybody. You know, even from the beginning of this podcast,
And like you
of
said,
where
I
we're at
didn't
to the
say
end of it
shit.
now.
I just left. I
It
didn't
just, you know,
announce, I'm
no.
retiring and all that.
Because how many people have you heard that doing that and then come back three
They
fucking
come
times and you're
in,
like, Jesus.
like,
shit.
motherfucker
And then
retired 3
then the
times.
problem with that, which I hated too, is like everyone first goes, well, oh, they just need money. What if they don't? What if they really want to just fuck or whatever?
Yeah.
So I don't like,
See,
my biggest thing is
or
the
they
stigmas.
fucked up, they need the
or
money.
the
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
think you need to
No.
put a title on it. Let
I
them
feel
live.
you.
Like,
I
if that's
feel
what you
you.
want, that's why for me it's like, I never needed to feel like I would be like, oh yeah, made a huge announcement. Like, I'm retired. I just did me.
No, I feel you. I pretty much did the same thing.
Keep it G.
I don't know if they realize I'm going or not. I don't know
But in my
what the fuck
podcast too, like I
going
kept
on.
saying the years, and I was like, damn, how long has it been? Because you just forget. And then with like porn stuff, they release stuff, but that doesn't mean I did it. But they had so much footage because I directed for Elegant Angel was the last company I was contracted with. And I remember that like last year they did, and I was nominated for an award. But so some people were like, but wait, you did this. And I'm like, but it really was
I thought
like
you was gone.
3-some years ago.
Nah, people don't understand that too. Is there anything else
your
that you
content.
wanna
Own
mention?
your content.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Own your content.
Definitely.
Anything I'd like to mention? No, I think we really said it all. I think we've had a really like an in-depth
I think we got a
conversation.
lot
I
out.
appreciate you
Facts.
for having me on your show. I love what you're
appreciate you
doing,
showing
and
up.
I appreciate you.
I'm over
just
here working
doing
too.
it. That's
know
what I'm saying.
I'm
It's
over
cool
here
to
trying
see
to do my thing
doing
too. You
your
know what I'm
side.
saying?
Like it's a whole cool thing. Like I said, I didn't know what I was walking into, but I didn't care. It's like I told you from the start I was whatever, and I'm an open book. So.
And you said you live vicariously through my
your
my
snap,
stories.
or it's not even snap. It's your
my
stories.
stories.
Yeah,
I
like
hear that so much, bro. I need to start capitalizing on this
why
shit.
did I
somehow.
tell? This is why I
I
told
just
you.
be dumbing out all day.
Because it's
like,
one of those
whatever.
things is I envy people like you because I wish, and I'm working on that, to get to the point where that I'm so out of the comfort zone that you could just live like that. For me, again, why I think the major difference, if you were a female, I don't know if it would be the same. But also as a female,
No, I
I
get
also
what you're
have
saying.
restraints too, that I could also have boundaries that if they're not, or measures to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't, I like to be inviting. I don't need to have a security. I don't like all of that. If I had to do that, then I don't want to go
No, I
unless
feel
I'm
you.
working. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you.
So for me, that's like, I gotta choose wisely like that. But I'm also, I'm learning this year is to be uncomfortable is to be comfortable, eventually. So I'm
We
I'm
gotta
working
rock
on it.
out.
I'm working on it.
Like I'm concerned about what you got going on right now. We gotta rock out one good day.
Yes,
just,
for
I
sure.
don't know.
I'm
Whenever
definitely
you
down.
can, let's give it a shot. Let's
We'll
get
give it
out.
a shot. I'll
Let's
be
give
your
it a
wing
shot.
woman.
Yeah, be my wing woman.
So you can find your. I saw your thing, which was funny because not only did I see the story you talked about, the five, it was 5'8", less than 5'8" or whatever. But then I also heard the whole thing about how when you're like, you said, my name is Keith and I'm a Sagittarius. And she's like, no, you're not. You're not
Getting
Turner.
that Turner, you're poor. So I was like, oh shit, no, this is real.
But that's why
I'm
it was
not
funny, 'cause we
lying.
just
This
had
is
that
really just what
conversation.
happened. And I was like, oh shit, shorty. Because I'm talking to Shorty. I'm like, yo, what up, mom? My name's Keith. I'm a Sagittarius. She was like, no, you Nat Turner, you a porn star. I said, oh shit. If I had a little camera on my head and just could get this shit, I'd be a millionaire. This shit is crazy. Because I always humbly just try to be me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm Keith. How you doing? I don't never.
But
come
that's
with nobody
why
with that
I
Nat
feel
Turner
like people
shit.
like that feel comfortable to say things too, and also because it's environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like it's because like you don't, as much as a big guy that I'm sure like people won't cross a certain line. Like you're also very inviting. So people, it's
Nah,
like it's
cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with
I'm
men
not
and
sitting
women.
there with a screw face.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What up, partner? Like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
On some sugar-free gangster shit.
Sugar free.
Nah,
Shout out to Sugar Free.
I think because this dude right here.
Shout
But
out to
anyway,
Sugar Free.
yeah, shout out to Sugar Free. Nigga.
That's funny.
What he like 60 something now? Nigga?
He's still pimping.
Yeah, he said he's still pimping.
Ponytail.
He
Yeah.
got a new album coming out next week.
He still got his ponytail and his long pinky
Yo,
finger, man.
I do
Come
not
on,
fuck
man.
with that dude like that. But anyway,
Like,
shout
yeah.
out to Mac Dre or something, UGK or something. You know what I'm saying? Paul Wall and them. I listen to all of that before I listen to Sugar Free.
Next time you come in here,
Mike
I'm playing
Jones.
I know you go.
Mike
Mike
Jones.
Oh, Mike. Don't
Mike
forget
Jones.
Mike Jones,
Who?
nigga.
Mike
And Slim
Jones.
Thugger. And Slim Thugger. We talking about all the Houston motherfuckers right
Do you
now.
listen to the new Texas music?
I don't.
Oh, okay. We gonna stay
I
from
don't even know
wouldn't
what's
know
going
what.
on, right?
Texas.
How
Who
many
is
Texas
the
one
new
minute?
Texas? Yeah. Oh,
Texas
you don't
is
even
wild
go home to
right now.
visit, huh?
No, I do. I was in well, no.
Yeah, you know.
No, I mean, I've gone probably like two
Not that
or three
part,
times a year.
anyway,
But I did take a break for a minute because last February, it was around this time, I got stuck there for a week because they had the ice storm thing. I was there.
Shit.
Like I was
Nah,
there.
I remember
I
that.
had like 20 canceled flights. I had my dad drive me to Austin to get out of even San Antonio because they couldn't. And all of it was ice. I mean, I was like, I've driven to. I've been in Toronto. I've had like mountains of snow.
Yeah,
and
you
they
can
get out
still
of this.
fly out.
It's just
yeah.
because they don't have a fucking ice truck to do the
to
shit.
do
Like
shit.
I'm like,
They don't got the
That's-
sand
can we all
machine.
chip
where they
in?
drop the little
Can we
sand
chip
or
in to
something.
San Antonio?
That's
Like
crazy.
somebody could put some salt on this motherfucking highway.
No, they couldn't deal.
goddamn.
I was like, this is what you're
They
closed the
was
whole
short
city
of
down.
salt trucks.
Whole city was done.
Because
But
they
yeah,
had
so
no
I
salt
took a break
trucks.
after that, but I do go back. I love Texas. I just, like being other. I just like being nomadic.
I was thinking about moving to Houston at some point. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like,
I want
recently,
to
I
live in
think.
the Austin area. Is for me more like I want
I
a
wouldn't
lake
know the
house
difference, but
I went to
I've
school in
been.
San Marcos, which is like 30 minutes from there, but
Okay.
it's just more liberal, more like I don't know. Houston's just very more industrial. It's kind of like oil refineries and things like that, energy. A lot of money. It's nice.
Okay, see, watch. You think I'm bullshitting? Well, keep
But-
watching my story. I'm gonna be in Houston somewhere.
You should. You should definitely buy
I'm in
property there.
Houston. I don't know
Houston
what the fuck
is-
I'm doing.
Definitely Texas, like property, whatever is. I mean, night and day.
No, that's
compared
what
to
I
here.
wanted to do is own property. I didn't
Yeah.
want to do it here. This
No.
is a bust in the ass.
Even if
doing
you
it in
do
LA,
Airbnb,
Cali,
then you go to Houston and go like whatever,
and
but
rock
like
it out. No,
do
I'm
like
trying
a
to
little
go
a
buy
condo like
something,
in the
like,
city,
for
like
real.
but buy you know what I mean, buy something that you can Airbnb and do something both, and then you can go
If
and
I'm
see in
not
your
there,
stay.
then no, I feel
That's what I
what
want to
you're
do in
saying.
Miami. That's
No.
why I was there.
I tried that years ago. It didn't work out for me. I
Yeah.
like Miami though. I was just there a month or so ago.
That's what I said. I think we like overlapped like a day, and I was like, when I saw that I was
Yeah.
leaving, that I was like, oh yeah, right
man,
there, yeah,
because it started snowing in New York. I was like, I'm out of here.
yeah.
Where could I go? Where could I go?
Get me out.
Oh, Miami. All right, fuck it. I'm out. Booked the ticket. Next day, I was out. $80 flight. I seen that flight. I was like,
It's
what?
crazy because you
shit
forget,
is
like, because
cheap.
for us, it's a little of a journey from LA, but for New York,
From,
it's
it's
a
right
simple-
there. That's
yeah.
what because
I would do
I'm
the
so
same
fucked
thing.
up in
But
my
that's
head.
why, like, my family is all from New York, so they snowbirds, so they migrate from Florida to whatever, and
No.
all my family now is all retired, so they live from Tampa to fucking.
And it's easy if you
Naples
over
to-
there to get to any of that. From Atlanta, Houston, Miami, New York, you could just. But coming from over here, it's a beast.
It's
Like,
different.
nah, that's why I'm figuring
Five,
out.
six, yeah.
I need to get back to the east side. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's my word. I'm eventually end up back on the east side. I'm not gonna go back home to New York, but I'm gonna be on the east side though.
For sure, that's where you
I'm
feel
gonna
it.
end up. Yeah, that's where I'm
I
gonna
like
end up
it.
at.
I like that for you.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I keep talking about it. One day I'm just gonna wake up and just pack my shit. Literally, this how I do. No, that's me. I can't
yeah.
plan nothing. I gotta wake up that morning and be like, fuck
Just
it.
feel it and say bye.
Just start packing my shit and just get a storage and be out. Literally, that's how it's gonna happen.
That I'm
Like,
gonna see on your stories.
yeah, I swear to you, watch. You're gonna be like, oh, he said this shit. Because that's the only way I can
Sometimes
do
that's
it.
what it takes for people, though. Just
Yeah,
to,
I
like,
gotta
pull,
just
you
be
know,
like, fuck it, I'm doing it right now.
'cause you
Fuck, keep talking
overthink
about it,
it,
overthinking it, keep talking about it, plan it for this day. No,
No, I
I'm
feel
gonna
that.
wake up that morning and my shit gonna be in storage and I'm gonna be in somewhere looking for an apartment. You know, just
well,
it's
make sure
foolish,
make
but
sure I know where you are. So if I want to go to that point, I'm like, hey, we're gonna go out while I'm here. We're gonna go.
Nah, facts. I'm always stay in touch with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Love is love.
Love is love.
Love is love. Nah, that's what's up, man. But yo, we gonna wrap this up. I appreciate you coming here, spending this time with me. It was highly appreciated. And
100 anytime.
and I got you. I got your back for whatever ventures you got going on in the future. And I plan on being a part of Lexus Texas Entertainment. You know
Let's
what I'm
chop it up. Let's see
saying?
what we
chop
can
it
do.
out. Let's see. Let's
what we
sign the
can do. Let's see
contract.
what my 10%
Y'all heard it here,
gonna
right?
do.
Y'all, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Yeah, she already talking about her 10%. See how this shit, you know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
it. I like
She already
it.
talking
That's how
about her
business-
percentage.
That's
know
how
what I'm saying?
business moves.
No,
you know what
that's
I'm saying? We
facts.
all gotta
we
eat.
gotta talk
We all gotta
percentages
eat.
first. Nah, that's what's up. But I appreciate you coming here. You want to shout out your IG or your
For sure. Though,
podcast again and
yes.
everything?
My Instagram is White Girl Politicking. And
White girls politicking,
that's
baby.
right. And my podcast is Private Talk with Alexis, Texas. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Make sure you check it out. You have an interview with you coming up soon, so that'll be fun to watch as well. But yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate you, and love is love.
That's what's up. Love is love, mama. Love is love.
Hey.
We out of here.
Hey. I knew that he